Also, while I haven't made One Piece OCs, I do have my own original characters that I've been making for my own television series. And that series is called The Wonderful World of Roz. It follows these three people, but mainly Rosalind, the redhead right here. After turning 18 and expecting to become queen, but instead losing it to her little sister Bloom, she decided to run away from home, and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to rule the entire world, and that'll prove to everybody back in my kingdom that didn't vote for me to be queen that I am a good leader. That's her mission. Alongside her, she has her best friend, this little gothic dragon, Delphi, and then there's Martin to the left, who's the secondary protagonist of this story. Rosalind's idea of ruling the world is having everybody rely on her, because if she's queen, people have to come to their rulers, if they need help, if they need anything. And she wants to be able to do that for everybody. However, she is really bad at it because she is destructive by nature. And that's where Martin comes in to help keep those destructive tendencies as low as possible. Also, he travels with her because despite him being a very good fighter, despite him being very smart, he gets himself into situations that he just can't think himself out of. But Rosalind, who's a demigod, has more than enough power to just kind of plow through these situations. But her doing so ends up getting them into trouble a lot of the time. Then there's Delphi, who is Rosalind's best friend, and she's here to make sure that no human messes with Rosalind and treats her terribly. Because the two of them have had a very hard time growing up in this world because of how she looks and how she isn't human. And as such, since Martin isn't human, the two of them butt heads on pretty much everything that they do. But Rosalind respects and trusts Martin because he's smart and she isn't. And while their goals may not align, because at the end of the day, Martin wants to travel the world so that he can uncover the mysteries of it, and hopefully in doing so, he can find out what happened to his missing parents. Rosalind sees this as, this is one of my best friends. I have to help him do this. Like, I can't rule the world if I can't even help one of my best friends. So these three travel the world and they uncover mysteries, they help out different types of countries and villages, but they also cause just enough chaos that they are still seen as villains by some other countries that they have not visited yet. Which is, kind of similar to how the Straw Hats do their thing. Only difference is Rosalind is more like think of her similar to a Saitama and Martin's like a Genos. A lot of the issues that she has in this series don't come from the fact that she needs to overcome something to beat it physically, but she just needs to grow as a person and become better at understanding the different types of environments that she's in, which is something that a queen needs to be able to do. So every place that they travel to, they end up butting heads with the leadership there. And as such, Rosalind ends up learning new things about being a leader. She sees what not to do, what she needs to do, how she should change. And then by the end of the series, she's going to be one of the best leaders that this world has ever seen. I know there's some tightening up to do because I pitched this to Nickelodeon last year. And while I didn't get it, I did get to meet with a lot of recruiters and they do like my style. So I'm going to keep working on it, keep fine tuning it. And hopefully this can hit TV. I want this to hit TV eventually. It's the main reason why I'm out here in LA. So I got to try to make this work. And while it's hard trying to get by because, minimum wage is a bitch and everything's expensive out here, very expensive out here. And some days you may have to sleep for dinner, but one day it will be worth it because I'm not going to stop.